My reflection today centers on God's plan. I'm not sure that individuals always immediately recognize how their particular experiences and actions fit into God's bigger plan. In today's readings, we see contributions to salvation history. I would like to think that we have a God who is still active in our world today. Cyrus, also known as Cyrus the Great, extended his rule to a large section of the Near East during the 6th century before Christ. He respected the traditions of the regions that were under his control. After his conquest of Babylonia, he allowed the Jews that had been deported from Palestine to come back. The first verses of Isaiah 45 describe God calling Cyrus to be the deliverer of the chosen people. Though never embracing Judaism himself, Cyrus played an integral role in the preservation of the Jewish people, their culture, and their religion. Thessalonica is one of several places where Paul made inroads, in spite of initially being forced to flee due to Jewish opposition. Paul's letter is written to a seedling community that was doing well. Without Paul's fervor and dedication, I personally doubt Christianity would have grown and flourished the way that it did. I see Paul and his proclamation of Christianity to the Gentiles as part of God's bigger plan. And then in today's gospel, Jesus is given a question, the answer to which seemingly can only bring him trouble. In being asked if it's right to pay taxes to a repressive government, he is set up to antagonize one group or another. Jesus expresses his frustration with those questioning him. Then the gospel records a wise response that allows for giving the government what it is due, while subjugating that to the service of God's plan. My mother would say that there is a reason for everything. In today's world, not everyone buys into that theory. We would like our world to thrive, but there are violent acts, injustices, and natural disasters. There are many individuals who would argue that who and what we are today is the result of chance and random events. I recently read some comments from a Nobel laureate expressing his hypothesis that not only consciousness, but also our sense of the transcendent are the result of natural selection. Are one's sense of beauty, one's feeling of love, and the empathetic actions which one observes signs of a plan in which God has a role? There are times when things seem comfortable and clear. These are the moments I find it easy to point to God's presence and God's plan in the world. And then the tide shifts. I can feel lost and discouraged. I can sympathize with the frustrations of Paul and Jesus. Fortunately, I can also imagine the moments in which they feel satisfaction. I can envision Cyrus, who some would call an infidel, as he is heralded as a Messiah by the Jewish people. When I was younger, I felt that I knew it all. It took moments of failure to recognize the gifts that had been visible before. It was the moments of hurt, like the loss of someone I loved dearly, that helped make me aware of the love that had been there. I have learned to see myself in the world having a purpose, a world that expounds the goodness of the divine plan. I can embrace the times of challenge and sorrow as a recognition that there are times of peace and joy. I can seek out the directions in which my time is spent as it should be, as a part of God's bigger plan. Amen.